I finally found the new red Rashad version of Salvage Valtryek at my local Target. While the Takara Tomy version was super rare, Hasbro just released this as a double pack. So in this video, we're gonna unbox it, battle it, and talk about it. Because I have some things to say. So let's get right into it. So I actually found this bay just walking through Target, just kind of checking some things out. And what's interesting is that I found this red version of Valtryek before I found the original blue one. I still have not seen that in stores yet, which is actually kind of funny because I got the red version for Takara Tomy before I got the blue one. So ironic. Anyways, this bay is the red edition, the Rashad version of Salvage Valtryek, who, if you didn't know, is kind of the antagonist of the series. It's also part of a double pack packaged with Gilded Nemesis, which I actually think is pretty cool. Say what you want about Hasbro's QuadDrive, I think for their system, they've been doing a pretty decent job with their exclusives. The designs, I think, are pretty cool and pretty unique, and I wish we got higher quality Takara Tomy versions of them. So cracking this thing open, the first bay we're going to look at is Gilded Nemesis. Performance tip first, I think it's okay. I mean, we have press as the armor tip, which is not fantastic or anything by any means. And as soon as you take the armor tip off, you have fusion, I believe it's called. It's pretty much just a run-of-the-mill performance tip, really nothing special about it. For the disc, we have AQ Dash or Aquilon Dash. And what's kind of interesting is that AQ, I guess the original version, also released in QuadDrive. So we got the base disc and its upgraded version just a couple of months apart. And finally, we have the whole layer portion, Gilded Nemesis in 7. We've gotten Gilded before in a gold color with Gilded Balderov, which is just a Hasbro exclusive evolution of Balder. And that's why the shape may remind you of Balder Bumper Bite, which is a bay that released years ago for Takara Tomy. But overall, I like the way that the bay looks. It's not super detailed or anything, of course, but you can't really expect QuadDrive bays to be detailed. And the slopes feel pretty decent as well, not like top tier or anything. The shape is round, but it's kind of jagged-ish, so how this bay will perform, we'll just have to wait and see. But now we can move on to the star of the show, which means we gotta... Wait, that's pink. Hold up. We gotta change the lights to red. We're talking about Salvage Valtryek. Let's take a look at the bottom half of the bay first. Starting with the performance tip, we have pretty much a mixture of both of the Bellfires we've had released so far. And yes, I said Bellfire, not Valtryek, so this is not just Valtryek but red. We have different parts here. And for the disc, we have Nexus. Once again, a Destruction Bellfire disc. The normal version of Valtryek, the blue one, came with its own disc that was brand new to that release. And for this, we have another Nexus. So that's one to add to the collection, I guess. And finally, we move on to the very controversial Salvage Valtryek layer. And I've talked a lot of smack about this in the past, and I'm still going to. It's really ugly. I do think that the Rashad red version looks a little bit better, mainly because I like red and silver, but there's just so many details missing here. Whenever you compare it to the Takara Tomy version, it's missing a lot of silver. It's of course missing a lot of like the sticker details, of course. And like I said in my other video, it's off. For some reason, they just twisted the chip and the actual blade. Why they couldn't put it on normally, I have no idea, but it just looks so ugly because it's just twisted a little bit. It's like they just wanted to mess with us a little bit. They just wanted to make us mildly infuriated. It's also just missing a lot of gimmicks. It doesn't have that spring kind of bound gimmick that Savior Valkyrie was known for. You can't awaken it because it doesn't have the little rubber tips on it. The driver is not shot, of course. It can't jump. So it's missing that whole gimmick as well. And that is why it is so controversial. It's missing just a lot of what made Savior Valkyrie, and it didn't even get the base design right. It couldn't even get that right. But now it is time to test these bays out. I've heard that Salvage is actually pretty good for a QuadDrive bay, so we're just gonna have to test. Alright, so here we have the double pack bays. We have Salvage Valtryek taking on Gilded Balderov. Let's go. Here we go. Going along the rails. Barely missing in this very first battle. Let me scoot the stadium a little bit. And alright, Salvage wins the first one. Here we go. Finally some good impacts. And they lost it. Cool. Fun. With... There we go. Kind of a who launched it first sort of battle. Good impacts on the outside edges. Salvage laying some hits in. QuadDrive Stadium not really helping out too much though. And pretty much about what you'd expect. We put Valtryek in its stamina core mode up against Baldurov in its core mode, so it kind of changes it up a little bit. So we're going around, kind of chill. Oh man, is Baldurov already kind of dying out? Wow. Absolutely no stamina. See which one wins this one. Baldurov, couple of good hits. This one's gonna come down to stamina probably. Oh, and Salvage actually won that one. Okay, cool. So with that, these bays are pretty much what you would expect. Nothing crazy at all. There's no gimmicks, no nothing. Honestly, Savior was pretty controversial itself. A lot of people said it was really just kind of garbage. I think it's pretty cool that Hasbro released this bay on its own instead of making it super rare like Takara Tomy, where you had to get really lucky to get one. Unless you were me and you pulled it on your first try. It did release in a double pack instead of a normal single pack, which some people might think is kind of lame, but at least they didn't release it in some $60 set like they normally do with some recolors. I mean, you literally had to buy the entire QuadDrive set in order to get the regular color of Destruction Bellfire. So do I recommend it? I'd say maybe. I treat QuadDrive like it's its own series. I don't battle it up against Takara Tomy stuff because it's just gonna lose every time. But do I recommend it for its own system? Only QuadDrive? I don't know, because you just have so many rehashed parts. I mean, with Nexus, with the performance tips, the layer itself, you could just get from normal Salvage Valtryek. So really, in this double pack, there's nothing really that's new, and the only reason you would get it is to have Rashad's first bay in the QuadDrive anime. So, I don't know, 4 out of 10? 5 out of 10. But that is going to wrap up this video, guys. If you liked it, hit that like button down below. We're going to try and hit 1,000 likes. Hit subscribe to join the Nuc Nation. That'd be amazing. I really want to hit 300k subscribers at some point. And let me know what you think of this Salvage Valtryek Rashad version in the comments down below. I will see you in the next one. Have fun and bay away.